Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel donations, the Venmo, and the Patreon family we work in. Now, shout out to Fight Hype, link in the description. Oscar De La Hoya, I believe he's doing some type of charity yesterday, and there's some interviews conducted with him regarding Canelo's next move. Now, this is no news to me, and I told you guys this in a previous video. I'm not even going to link to my old videos because you guys can find them if you do your research, and I don't feel like it. I don't feel like I have to do that. But check the track record. If you follow the channel, then you should know the content. And I told you guys, this is confirmation. This video right here is confirmation. Now, in the case of, I told you I'm the boxing Maury Povich, so that's how we're going to do it. In the case of Canelo versus Golovkin 2 rematch, I told you guys in those past videos that negotiations all of a sudden, when you have the whole month of November, right, they're stalling, and Golden Boy wanted to wait until after the David Lemieux Billy Joe Saunders fight, which isn't until December. So that right there tells me something. It tells me that you are considering other options and keeping all the options open with the top middleweight names or whatever you want to say, and you're considering maybe the winner of that fight, depending on their performance. And then once you have all of the middleweights with decisions or outcomes rendered in their upcoming fights, then you're going to go to the drawing board, speak with K2, speak with Lemieux-Sanders, or whoever wins that fight, Danny Jacobs, whoever wins his fight tonight, and then make a decision for Canelo. So, first things first, I feel multiple ways. Daniel Jacobs fights tonight on HBO against Luis Cuba Arias. He really pushed Golovkin. In my opinion, I was at the fight. I thought he beat Golovkin. Close fight, tight fight. I thought Jacobs did enough to win, right? If he beats Luis Cuba Arias, that's an undefeated fighter. Very good comeback fight off of a loss. Judges didn't give him the Golovkin fight, right? So they're saying, Oscar in this interview is saying Daniel Jacobs is a candidate. Then you have David Lemieux, who's with Golden Boy, and Billy Joe Saunders, title fight, WBO title fight in Canada. De La Hoya admits, I'll be there. Obviously, it's his company that is promoting it. And then they said they're going to decide. He said right now there's nothing to really, negotiations are slow. There's nothing discussed. So my thing is this: I feel mixed ways. As far as Daniel Jacobs, if he gets past Luis Cuba Arias, this is a difficult fight for Canelo. Good fight for Canelo. But Jacobs doesn't have a belt. Jacobs is my dude, but he doesn't have a belt right now, right? 2, Saunders-Lemieux winner will have a belt, but it's no Golovkin. So in the grand scheme of things, I think the Golovkin fight, just how it all played out, the Adelaide Bird scorecard, 118-110, that pissed people off. I really feel those two make the most money together next, and I really feel that they have unfinished business, more importantly. You know what I mean? And I don't know what's going to happen. He says Canelo's going to decide or whatever, but the fact that they're even entertaining other good options at middleweight, very good options at middleweight, instead of setting the record straight, shows me something. You know what I'm saying? And obviously we'll wait to see what Canelo decides, what Golden Boy decides, and who he fights next. But really, the pressure should be on Canelo to clear that up. And it's funny to me because when I notice something, I notice patterns. A lot of times in this boxing game, if there's an African-American top-level fighter, elite-level fighter, who has a fight that's viewed as a tough, disputed, controversial fight that could have been a draw, could have been a loss, but that they won, then there's an immediate pressure for them to fight no other contender, no other champion, no other person than that same person. For example, when Floyd Mayweather A lot of people thought that he beat Castillo. Some people thought he lost to Castillo. Floyd, the same year, he had an injured shoulder. He had the rotator cuff surgery or whatever. Came back the same year, beat Castillo. Or his other rematch with Marcos Maidana. Some people said Maidana pushed him. It could have been a draw. I thought Floyd clearly won the fight, but it was a fun fight. It was a rough, kind of dirty fight. But whatever. Some people out there were really claiming that Maidana beat him and Maidana won the first fight, or is a draw. And some people said Floyd won. Floyd did what champions do and said, okay, I'll prove it again. I'll beat him again. I'll give him another shot. And we've seen Maidana gain a ton of weight and retire after he got his second Mayweather payday. He out there Narcos Maidana style, you know what I mean, lamping, because he got those 2 Mayweather paydays. So congrats to him. But the pressure was on Floyd. And then when Floyd announced that he was fighting Maidana, people were angry. Like, why are you fighting him again? But you guys just said it was a close fight and he lost it. That's why he's fighting him again. Right? Another more current, recent example. Andre Ward. He controversially beat Sergey Kovalev. Oh, he didn't do enough to beat the champion. Some people were angry. I was at that fight. Thought Ward won it. He definitely had everybody on the edge of their seats and stuff. It was a close fight, tight fight, got knocked down, etc. But I thought he pulled it out in the second half of the fight, right? But not everyone was convinced. And guess what? There was an immense pressure. I remember after Ward won the fight, on all 3 judges' scorecards via unanimous decision, Kovalev was screaming, I won, Andre Ward, son of judges, right? And Ward was saying, I beat you. I feel I beat you. I might even retire. People were like, what? How are you going to retire like this? And this was just a notion. This was just a thought. He didn't say, I actually am retiring, right? He was just, there's an interview or something he did and said, I might retire, right? And people were mad. The fans were hot. Ward got with his team, got with his promoter, got with Virgil Hunter, and said, you know what? I'm going to clear the air. Within 4 months, that fight was announced, and I believe within 6 months or so from the original date, because it happened so late in the previous year, it happened in November, that it couldn't have happened that same year. But within 5-6 months, the fight was already taking place, and it was his next fight. He didn't fight nobody else. He didn't get more experience at light heavyweight. So realistically, I said all that to say this. I feel like Canelo really shouldn't be looking at other options. Clear the air with Golovkin. You know what I mean? Whether you thought Canelo won, whether you thought Golovkin won, whether you thought it was a draw, it's the biggest middleweight fight right now. Not in terms of, I mean, trust me, there's other fights I wouldn't mind seeing. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Triple G versus Jermall Charlo. That's just mandatory. But in terms of the biggest and what's right for boxing, clearing the air, showing adjustments, I mean, this is the fight that needs to happen. So to me, it's just funny that where's the fan pressure to see no other option other than the option with an asterisk by it, a question mark, because there's a lot of people that thought Canelo really didn't win the fight and got gifted some help on the scorecards and things like that. It created controversy. I personally think Canelo did better than a lot of people gave him credit for, and because that judge's scorecard, Adelaide Bird's scorecard, was so wide, it kind of fucked up the perception of him, and people didn't really look at what they saw. They looked at that scorecard. But I mean, either way, that's the fight that should happen next. We'll see what Golden Boy and Canelo decides to do. I mean, I think Golovkin, he really was calling out Canelo for a while. Definitely put more pressure on in 2016. Canelo vacated his belt, even though we were supposed to get the fight in 2016. Then they finally make it in fall 2017, which they said they would do late in 2016, after kind of disappointing fans and the vacating stuff. They fight. It's a good fight, contested fight, a fight that did a great live gate. There was entertainment, there was drama. It was clearly the best fight on the card, things like that. So I just feel like Golovkin, he's kind of owed a rematch, to be honest. You know what I mean? And again, trust me, there's other fights I want to see I would love to see Golovkin versus a Jacobs rematch, Jermall Charlo. But I mean, realistically speaking, that's the fight that needs to happen. It's the fight with the most money, and it's the fight with the huge question mark. And you got to give Golovkin credit. He did risk his undefeated record and put all his belts on the line to make the Canelo fight. So, I mean, he risked more than Canelo, because Canelo didn't have 3 belts or whatever like he did. You know what I mean? Canelo's not undefeated like he is. Now, they both took a risk because obviously Canelo moved up in weight recently and stuff like that. But bottom line, in my opinion, it needs to happen next. You know what I mean? Anytime we see these Ward, Kovalevs, those certain other fighters, they're pressured to fight no other person. You know what I mean? Like Canelo, like I said, Canelo Jacobs is a good fight. Canelo Sanders-Lemieux, it's not a bad fight, but we've never seen you in with any of those people, and we have seen you, because, like, for example, what if you fought, this is just random, what if you fought Daniel Jacobs and he beat you? Then now the Golovkin fight, since you didn't fight him next, kind of takes a hit. Let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing out. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.